Well, there. Good evening, my wonderful friends and colleagues. Welcome to another Inspirations for Your Life. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, the host, and I want to welcome our new subscribers. And for those of you that are new, what we do is we have a episode every night, and every week we have a theme. And so each day we actually talk about something related to that theme. So thank you so much for popping by. If you are an existing subscriber, well, welcome. It's great to have you back. And I hope that some of my new visitors today will become loyal subscribers, just like many of you guys. So show me some love, whether you're on Facebook, John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur, LinkedIn, John C. Morley, John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur YouTube page, or my Twitter, Twitch, or Periscope page. Show me some love. You can like, you can support, or click an appropriate icon to let me know that you're engaging. And what I'd like you to do right now, have you thought about what I've been asking all week, which is, what is your gift that you're going to give to the world? Go ahead and type that below. At the top right, you're going to see my QR code. Just go ahead and scan that anytime or before the broadcast is over, and you'll be greeted with my link tree, which has lots of powerful information that can empower, change, and improve the quality of your life. And that's why we're all here, aren't we? All right. So, yes, this is episode 7. We have been an entire week on what gift will you share with the world? So now, by being with me for just about a week, you guys know that a gift is something that doesn't have to cost money, right? It's something that we can do to exemplify something, right? That's probably one of the most important things. And when you give a gift that's not based on money, it has a different type of effect on people. Well, why is this? I think it's because when it's not based on money, you have to do something else. You have to sacrifice something else besides money. So that could be time, right? Could be energy, could be things like that. But it doesn't have to do with money. And so when you sacrifice something like time, and we all know that time is limited in a day, right? We only have so many hours. We all get 24 hours a day. Most of us sleep some hours, some of us are up the other part of the hours. And you only get so many of those hours in a day. And so when you give up some of those hours to give someone something or make something, people are like, wow, that person really took an interest in me, because, they're not going to do that for everybody, right? And so if we talk about, let's say, a business, and that business does something that's very, very unique, it gives a client something that sacrifices extra time at no cost, that's going to impress that client. I mean, quite a bit, right? It's really going to impress the client. And I think they're going to be happy because of what's happened. And I think it's important for you to understand that a gift is something that is priceless. You might have heard the old adage before, right? Things are priceless. I'm sure you've heard that before. You might have heard the commercials online. Sometimes they say, things are extremely priceless, like things like gift for your loved one, $100. Gift for your fiance. Gift for your colleague at work. Tickets to the season's baseball game. Seeing the expression on their face, priceless. So what does that do? Well, that tells me that people are intrigued by emotion. People are intrigued by emotion. So why is it then that people play on people's emotions? That's a great question. It's because people see that as an easy in. a way to manipulate somebody, kind of like a shortcut, a way that people can just do whatever they want because they found this shortcut recipe. And once you've used that shortcut once or twice, the person becomes very wise and astute. Like, wait a minute, I'm not letting this happen again. So emotions are very vital in people's lives. When you want to build relationships, when you want to build rapport with people, you need to understand that emotions are the keys to building and breaking integral communication, which stems into long-term business or long-term friendships or long-term romantic relationships. But when I say to you, what gift do you want to give? And I've been asking you this all week. Have you thought about it? Is your gift something that you can make right now at home? Maybe Valentine's Day is coming up, and maybe you can make your loved one a card. That's a gift. That's something that takes a little bit of your time and something that will impress your friend or your loved one. And so why is it that a gift with time? Well, I've already explained to you that there's so many hours in a day, and when you're willing to sacrifice time for the possible potentiality that you might make somebody happy, that intrigues somebody because you've actually taken a risk. Now, it's possible they might have not liked it, right? But when you do something like that, you make yourself vulnerable. Vulnerable. So you know what's coming next, don't you? I'm sure you do. Merriam-Webster, and we're going to look up the word vulnerable. And so, what is vulnerable? You've heard me say it before. Well, vulnerable is actually an adjective. It means you're easily hurt or harmed physically, mentally, or emotionally. You're open to attack, harm, or damage. So when someone is very emotional, like if they just had a breakup, they're going to have their feelings on their sleeves, and they're going to be very fragile for maybe 24 hours, maybe a day, and everyone's different. So when you can understand a gift, and that gift has a way of transforming their life because that gift doesn't have an expiration period. That gift doesn't have a finite quantity of something that can be dispensed. It just is. Now, I think this is like really cool because when we can get to understand what a gift is and how a gift works, that's amazing to me. It's amazing. What are some other gifts that you could give? Well, maybe you're on a trip and maybe you pick up some rocks or a collection. That's a gift. It took your time to do it. So gifts that employ time and not money are oftentimes going to be received well. Now, that doesn't mean that gifts that you spend money on won't be received well. It's just that when there's something that doesn't have a monetary value to it, it's going to get people to dig deep in their hearts because you did it. When it has a financial value, they're like, oh, that's so nice of you. And they'll be grateful, but different than if you gave them or created something that used actually used your skills, that used your time. So that means that if I actually make something or I give something that used my time, then that means the other person is going to be very interested. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. So we've been together now almost a week. It's going to be 7 days tonight. And a gift. We talked about the fact that you could make a whole bunch of gifts, like if it's a relationship, especially if it's a romantic relationship, you could do things like, a free back rub and other types of free things. And again, they're free, or maybe a free get out of jail card or a free get out of trouble card, a free night out with the guys card. And so this is something that your partner gives you because they want to show you that they care about you. And they know that they're not always going to be at their peak when they're always going to be forgiving all the time. So they want to give this gift to you as an olive branch to say, hey, look, I know I'm not perfect, but I want to give this to you because when you have these challenges, I want you to have an easy way to get around. Now, I'm not going to give you infinite chances, but I'm going to give you a couple. And I think when that happens, people are like, oh my gosh. And then when you start realizing that you're able to do something pretty cool, you're wondering what's going on. You are wondering what is going on. And so when you wonder what's going on, other people will do the same thing. A gift that does not involve money directly. Now, if you have to go to the dollar store and spend a few dollars to buy some things, you can make something, well, that's fine. But let's say you're going to buy somebody a TV. There's a different meaning to a TV than, let's say, a gift that I spent several hours to make. Maybe I made some cards for Valentine's Day. Maybe I made some homemade origamis. What the heck is an origami? So an origami is basically different types of crafts out of paper, right? So you can make different types of things like different Chinese animals, etc. And there are lots of books on origami. Okay. And then you might have even heard called spinners. You've probably seen these before where you put everything together and then you kind of go in and out with your hands and it kind of changes the thing. And then you could pick up. I remember my friends always had those. So when you can use your mind and apply it to create something that's compelling to another individual or human being, they start to get a connection with you. They start to realize that, hey, this person took all this time and built me something pretty amazing. I should do the same thing for him or her, right? So your homework tonight, if you haven't done it already, is to figure out what is your gift. What could you give somebody? It could be a gift to your children. It doesn't have to be to your spouse, but you should be giving a gift to everyone. It's people you care about. So what's a gift you could give your kids? Well, maybe a gift you could give them, you could make homemade cookies, right? When it's not the holidays. Maybe you could bake their favorite cake, their favorite meal. Something else you could do is maybe give them the incentive to have play dates over. So you could encourage that they invite 3 or 4 friends over and you have some fun. So these are gifts that you can give your kids, and they're very, very priceless. What they show is that you as an individual have respect for that person and that you trust them. So that's one thing they can do. Another thing that a gift can do is it can put you on a pedestal because now they saw how much time and effort you put into something. And usually they're going to be so grateful for you doing that. Well, I hope you'll tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know. And if you got value tonight, go over to youtube.com, type in John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur, look for the key phrase, help keep our content free. Below that, make the choice. When you see the link for PayPal to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, we'll be so grateful. With those pennies and dollars, we'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, and even new facilities to continue to produce the most jaw-dropping motivational content to inspire you to become a better version of yourself and everyone else around you. If you have not already followed my John C. Morley Serial Entrepreneur LinkedIn channel, what are you waiting for? Click on that follow button. I hope that you have the greatest rest of your evening. Tomorrow, I'll be launching another series. What it will be is a complete surprise, so you'll have to wait till tomorrow night. I hope you have a great night, a great morning. Remember, if you haven't come up with at least 1 or 2 gifts, why don't you do that today or tomorrow morning? Because when you do that, you're going to gain an entirely different level of respect, one that you didn't even know was fathomable. Have yourself a good one, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon.